Corsair's entrance into the case market with its Obsidian series proved that the company has what it takes to be in the enclosure business. The only downside for many people was the price. Now, however, they are launching a new Graphite series tower that not only offers many of the great features of the Obsidian, but a whole new design and lower price. So here is the Corsair Graphite 600T. It is a case designed purely for the enthusiast and computer builder. Much like the 800D, this case can handle just about anything. The 600T is expected to debut in late September for an MSRP of around $160. So let's take a look. Now here's the thing, Corsair claims that the 600T is a mid-tower. However, it's probably the biggest mid-tower you'll find. It pushes that description to the limit at 20 inches high, 23.3 inches long, and 10.4 inches wide. The case has a solid steel body structure, and they've used plastic to shape the outer design, but it is definitely not cheap or flimsy. Now, Corsair has realized that dust filters are essential, and so is easy access. There's a 200mm front intake fan, and the dust filter very easily snaps out. The front ports are at the top, and they've included 4 USB 2 along with USB 3 and FireWire. There's audio inputs and unobtrusive power and reset buttons. You also have a very prominent 4-fan speed control knob. The top panel also features a removable mesh cover. Underneath, you can install 2 120mm exhaust fans, which work great for a concealed water cooling setup. There's also a hidden lock for your side panel. The back of the case features a 120mm exhaust fan, 8 PCI expansion slots, water tubing holes, and a bottom-mounted power supply. In typical Corsair fashion, the side panel removes incredibly easy without the need for screws, and you can see that nice graphite finish. The layout of the interior takes many cues from the award-winning 800D, and that is great news for system builders. Starting with the power supply, we have the ability to adjust the support bracket depending on the power supply's length. Also tucked away underneath is a removable dust filter. The company has also re-engineered the hard drive bays to let users configure them to fit their design. We can remove the top 3 drive bays and just leave them out or install them at the bottom of the case. This leaves more room up top for larger video cards. If airflow is a concern, just get rid of the front rack entirely. One of the key features of the Corsair design is cable management. All around the motherboard tray, whether you're using an ATX or MATX board, there are rubber grommets that help keep clutter down and keep your build looking very sharp. Exhaust fans are on the rear 120mm and top 200mm. There's also an oversized CPU backplate opening, which should work with pretty much any board. A bit of a redesigned toolless drive bay as well, very solid and easy to use. A critical aspect of many cases is all about what you don't see. With the 600T, there is a ton of room in behind the motherboard tray for running cables. Starting off on the assembly, you can see how the 600T won't have a problem with pretty much any ATX standard component. Even oversized power supplies or slightly wider motherboards are going to be fine. It cleans up very nicely and very quickly. We were able to make use of the grommeted spacing to keep things inside looking very tidy and very clean. If you were worried about having to fit an unconventionally large-sized graphics card, don't be. Our AMD 5870 fits in with both hard drive trays installed, and there's still a couple of inches of room, meaning an AMD 5970 will be no sweat. My favorite and truly an awesome addition to this case is the layout for internal water cooling. Keep in mind this is a mid-tower. Check this out, we take out the included 200mm top fan, add in our dual 120mm radiator, and then as we move to the top you'll see we have the fans installed underneath that top mesh piece. It's a completely concealed system. It keeps the outside looking slick without having a massive radiator that looks sort of like a tail jutting out the back. As we turn it around, what may seem like a complete mess of cables on the back with no hope of fitting your back panel over is actually no problem at all. The design of the side panel gives extra room and it's easier to use than your typical slide-on panel design. Overall, the 600T is very sharp looking inside and out. They've moved away from the box design of the Obsidian series and given this case a bit more personality. Now, while I was initially concerned when I heard the words less expensive and plastic being talked about, this thing is anything but a cheap plastic case. And it's not just all for looks. As we saw, the design is used for the advantage of the system builder, integrated dust filters, cable management improvements, and all of the water cooling options. Another major improvement that many are going to like is airflow. With those two massive 200mm fans, there should be no complaints about heat. With a price tag of just above $150, the 600T is incredibly competitive with other enthusiast-oriented chassis. When it comes to the case's ease of use and flexibility, it offers features that you really never see in a case in this category. Thumbs up to Corsair for one damn good case. We hope you enjoyed the Hardware Canucks product showcase on the Corsair Graphite 600T. Remember, it takes only one quick mouse click to subscribe and support us. We'll see you next time.